Hello and a very good evening to all our viewers who are joining me in this live interaction on News 9's Facebook as well as YouTube page. Well guys, if you own a vehicle, then this live interaction session is just for you guys. Well, starting tomorrow, the 1st of October, 5 changes will be enforced in the motor vehicles rules. And in order to push, digitization and also prevent harassment of drivers from traffic police officials, the Union Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has now notified various amendments in Central Motor Vehicle Rules 1989 from tomorrow. Now the changes are as follows. Well, the first change will feature no physical verification of vehicular documents, which means that all the vehicular documents found validated through electronic means shall not be demanded in physical forms for inspection. It also includes the cases where there is an offence made out necessitating seizure of any documents, and each challan will also be made available on the government's digital portal for the pursuit of the traffic violators. So, if you are violating the traffic rules, then you won't have to show your your driving license in a physical form, because it will already be uploaded on the digital platform. Well, that was about the first change. And the second change is that if a DL has to be revoked or reported from disqualification, then the police officials can record and also report the violators on the digital portal. And this particular portal will be updated every now and then. That is, chronologically, it will also be updated on when the offence had taken and when the case was booked and when is the due date to pay your fines. And the third change is that nobody can go undetected in this new system, because the record of the violators will be maintained electronically, and authorities will also monitor the driver's behavior, not only the violators but the timestamp of inspection and also identity of the police officer in uniform or any other officer who authorized the particular bill or challan shall also be recorded on the government portal. And the motive behind this is to prevent any unnecessary rechecking or inspection of vehicles and remove harassment of the drivers. Now, quite often you would have seen violators getting caught by cops, and every single time the cops will have to go through the violations history, and then they will get to know, okay, there are so many violations. But in this, as soon as you put in the vehicle registration number, you will get to know what are the violations and also where the violations took place, and also which inspector had booked that particular person on that particular day. So that was about the third change. And the fourth change is that you might wonder where you can now store your vehicular documents. Now, with these new changes, which will be in effect from the 1st of October, drivers can maintain their documents on the central government's portal like a DigiLocker or also in e-Parivahan, which means that there won't be a necessity of the drivers to carry their physical documents anymore. And the fifth changes which the central government has brought about is that the use of phones, which is the most important change brought about by the Union Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, because the use of mobile phones or any other handheld communication devices while driving shall solely be used only for route navigation in such a manner that it shall not disturb the concentration of the driver while also driving. So even if a person is caught using phones for any other purpose other than this particular reason, then the offender will be fined under the existing traffic norms. Now, in order to understand and also get more insights on these changes, we have with us Mr. Purushottam, who is a traffic expert. Many thanks for joining me in this live interaction, Mr. Purushottam. So my first question to you is, what is your opinion about these changes?
Good evening, Deepak. It's an excellent move according to me, because we are in a digital era, which means anything and everything can be checked and tracked through the digital, sources what is available right now. I think so. Government has taken a right step in this moment, I would say.
Also, Mr. Purushottam, don't you think the changes where phone will be allowed only for navigation purpose would probably affect one and all in this across the country? Because often we come across people who are using their phones and they get away from the cops, but this particular move properly ensures that the violator will be booked no matter what.
So, as they very clearly mentioned here, so if you're using the phone for a navigation purpose, there is no, challenges where you find. Of course, when you're driving, you are using a phone for other than this purpose. Definitely, that's a punishable offense. So, I think so. Only for a navigation purpose, there is no problem. What I understand from this changes, what they are trying to implement.
So, Purushottam, like the changes mentioned that this particular move shouldn't affect the concentration. So, the phone will be made to be transfixed in a particular place where, it doesn't obstruct the driver's visual side, right?
Yeah, of course.
So, that is what the changes.
That is very, very important because even the current, we are using phone for navigation for a very large number of times. Ola, Uber, if you see that, 100% we see that it is used. In a similar way, when you're traveling to a location where you are not very sure about it, we are using only to make sure we are having the phone in such a way that it is not distracting your, way.
All right. Also, Mr. Purushottam, my last question to you is whether we are moving towards the European and also the US model when it comes to, monitoring and also punishing the offenders. Are we?
I would say yes. This is a first move in this, where India has a large number of vehicles, flying every day. And it is very, very important. Right now, there are two things I wanted to quote here. One, when you say no physical verification of vehicular documents, here, two things what I observed in a lot of times. When police on the road, they wanted to catch the offender. If you observe, they'll be waiting in one side of the corner and try to catch the offender, right? In between, police person has to go in between the vehicles which is already running, and
That's
the other
true.
side, the motorist try to escape, and he will try to run in the wrong direction. So there are possibilities where he meets with an accident. Here also the police actually may, if any vehicle is coming with a little higher speed, there is a possibility and threat for the cop life as well.
That's true.
So this can be saved. This is a very, very good move. Okay. Secondly, no one can escape with the new system, which means currently not 100% of the offenders are getting caught.
That's
Even
true.
whatever the errors they are doing, not having a driving license or insurance copies or emission tests, etc. Now, if you are going and pushing through this model in a digital era, digital system, you will see a zero revenue leakage. If it is managed properly, I would say it's a zero revenue leakage, and it's in a very good movement where government get to see a lot of transparency. What is the number of cases getting booked on a daily basis? What is the amount is getting collected also? So that can be implemented to develop further in terms of a transportation in the near future.
Also, Mr. Purushottam, my last and final question is: don't you think that somewhere the private details of the drivers can also be leaked, which will result in violation of privacy?
There is nothing as such a privacy, because when you are submitting your driving license as well today, so whatever the information is available, that's submitted to the right authority itself. In the portal, it says, Parivahan, it's in a central government portal. So I don't see any challenge in terms of, getting it leaked or it is misused.
Okay. Many thanks for joining me in this live interaction, Mr. Purushottam. Well, that was the traffic expert Purushottam giving us his insights about the new rule which is brought about by the Ministry of Road Traffic and also Highways. And with this new rule, with these new changes being made, from tomorrow, nobody can escape. And if you are planning to skip a traffic signal, please think twice before you act. With that, it's a wrap on this live interaction. If you guys have liked this piece of information that we've shared with you all today, please drop in your comments and also like, share and subscribe to News 9 on various social media platforms. Thank you for watching.